Hi everybody, Ben here, Warden there. We're here to have a special interview with our very successful Pptq contestants, Mike and Liam, who are over there.
Yeah.
Liberal use of success there.
They both top 8'd, and they both played the same 75 cards, piloting Jund. Whoop 'em Jund 'em style.
One of them took first, one of them took seventh.
Yes. Alright, so...
Yeah, he was first, I took seventh, so technically he's the better pilot of the deck, but I built most of the deck, so like...
Totally.
That's all I have.
That's all I have! Fair enough. Alright, so, getting down to the nitty-gritty interview portion. Knit and grit.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Why did you guys decide to play Jund?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
One of the big reasons is because we have a lot of experience in Jund. We both took it to a GP. We both have taken it to multiple PTQs, played a lot of FNMs. And because Jund is a very good proactive deck that plays cards like Thoughtseize, so you're very good against a lot of just jank. And then Tarmogoyf is good at just getting the job done. So if you want to be proactive and play something that that had experience in, so basically it.
Yeah. That sums it up for me, too. I mean...
So just a lot of time piloting the deck, and it was the deck that you felt most comfortable with?
We were also metagaming against our meta pretty hard, because the past two FNMs I kind of just swung in and didn't play, kind of on purpose. And I saw a lot of affinity, hardened scales, affinity, just a bunch of aggro, low to the ground decks, humans, bands, etc. So I just figured, Jund, and yeah, there's control and like a Tron deck, but I figured hearing some things from the Pptq previously in Owensburg, it was a lot of aggro and not a lot of control, and so I just kind of knew the same people were going to show up again, and took a risk.
Yeah, so we knew 2 people would be on Banned Spirits. We knew minimum 2 people would be on the Hardened Scales Affinity, and then we knew a person on Burn. We knew there's what else did you mention besides those? Oh yeah, we knew 2 people on humans too. So
yeah, we thought Ben was going to be playing humans. I mean, his deck is still there.
I would put him on Eldrazi Tron, honestly, because he's got more history in that deck.
Yeah.
So what's the answer, Ben?
When I showed up to the Pptq just to watch, I was thinking, I think Eldrazi Tron would have been a better choice.
Yep.
Yeah. And the
would
Tron
you
deck
chose
did
that
hit the top 8, so
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Gotcha.
It's hard to say. I haven't played it. Actually, I played my Eldrazi Tron a lot more up to the Pptq than I have humans. I was lending it to somebody for a very long time, so it probably would have been that deck. But, we're not here to talk about it.
Enough about us. Let's talk about you.
So, as Jund players, what do you guys feel is your worst matchups and your
Tron.
best matchups?
Tron, 100%.
Tron decks that play a lot of 2-for-1s and are capable of playing like a grindy mid-range game. So there's a lot of graveyard decks that are just traditionally very good against Jund. Like Dredge is very good, and any of the Life from the Loam, like kind of value decks.
So like the Bridgevine decks, Hollow One.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then decks that play Snapcaster Mage and Search for Iskanta are often quite good against Jund.
Okay. And I didn't see any Hollow One. I mean, I'm the Hollow One player here in Yakima, and I wasn't playing it, so I was like, well, we can throw that out. There's no Vengevine players here. I heard there might be 2 from Ellensburg, but that's about it. Okay. So, I was like, well, Jund seems safe.
Yeah, and we didn't expect to see a lot of Tron, and we didn't expect to see a lot of actual hard control decks. So, and part of our metagaming was to kind of just like not really care about those matchups, and like if we happen to run against Jund, like we're just gonna accept. Or no, sorry, if we happen to run against Tron, we just like accept that we're gonna lose. So
okay,
we did.
Which happened to me.
It didn't happen to me, but how bad was that? By the way, just losing 2?
No, I took him to game 3. Game 1, natural Tron. Game 2, he had all the mana in the world, but no threat. I actually bolted his only threat. So, which is Wormcoil.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Liliana Bolt, sorry. And then game 3, Natural Tron into it felt bad. It felt really bad. Like I was just like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and we took Fulminator Mages out of our sideboard to just play more cards for aggro. And it's like if our opponent plays Tron or has a flipped search for his Kanto, it's just gonna ride.
Well, I mean, if you also look so back to the other question on why we played Jund. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just remembered. So me personally, I didn't know what Liam was doing like a week prior, and we've started 3 days prior, to the tournament. So I told him what I was thinking, and I was like, there's a lot of aggro, a lot of low to the ground creature decks. If you look online, everyone's going to be seeing hardened scales, humans, banned spirits, and they're just rising,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Jund was in there too, but I was just like, Jund is really good against, I think it was 4 or 5 of the top decks that were, high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only Control, Blue-White Control, and Tron that were like our bad matchups. So that's, I mean, even if I went to a Pptq, or a bigger tournament in a different area, I mean, my sideboard would have been a little different because you have to be ready for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I was just like, well, you know what? Let's just go for it.
So you're saying that you made your sideboard a lot more focused, whether or not, since it was a more local event.
Yeah, and main board too.
Yeah.
But something to be said is that you and I have a long history of just playing the exact same 75 in tournaments, just
Or
for
one card difference.
Yeah, just for like not only data gathering, just because we both play a test a lot together and we play off each other. So. Yeah.
So, what do you guys think is your best matchup as Jund players?
In that specific tournament?
No, just in general.
Any creature deck or a combo deck.
Any deck that is tier 2 and is not playing like blitzingly fast aggro.
When
you play Jund and you're playing Thoughtseize, you want to run up against somebody who's trying to innovate or somebody who's playing a strategy that is kind of slow and has like a couple moving parts that they need to assemble. And you really punish people by just playing Thoughtseize into like Tarmogoyf into Liana. It's like, well, you're kind of like Fun Police in the way that like Tron is Fun Police.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like we were the original. I wouldn't say we were the original. Jund has always been a natural predator, or Tron has always been the natural predator of Jund in general because they just do.
They just go over the top of you guys.
Bigger. Yep. They do the exact same thing, but they do bigger.
Yeah.
Which is.
Well, they spend more mana than you every turn, and their threats are bigger, harder to remove, and give card advantage.
Karn is better than Liana. With an ult that doesn't. Well, I mean, it changes the game, I guess.
Kinda.
I suppose that's debatable, but
yeah.
So for you guys during this tournament, what card do you think overperformed?
Tarmogoyf.
Yeah,
Tarmogoyf, just Tarmogoyf straight up, get the beater down.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a couple games where it's just just play Tarmogoyf, you turn sideways a couple times, and they don't have a reasonable answer, and you're just dead.
Yep. I mean, I think against Steve, I saw all 4 of my Tarmogoyfs in the last.
What was Steve playing?
He was playing Jeskai.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I just saw all 4 of my Tarmogoyfs, and it was the semifinals, the match that wasn't on camera. But I saw all 4 Goyfs, and that's why I won that last game.
Yeah, so I lost to Steve, and then he beat Steve, so technically our 75 still beat him.
Yes.
I mean,
it makes me not feel as bad,
You're shooting like 50%, so...
Yeah.
Good job, Steve, by the way.
So you're doing a very typical Jund style thing of...
Yep.
keeping your overall statistics 50% across the field.
Yeah,
exactly. It's more than that.
51.
Well, you lost in 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat him in 3, so it's exactly 50.
Why couldn't you play better?
Why couldn't you play better?
Because he suspended Ancestral into search for his camp in game 3, and I was like, alright, okay.
If we
That's it again. I get it, dude.
Yeah. If we had to choose a card that wasn't Tarmogoyf, though, because, I mean, anyone can say,
How about something on the sideboard?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so your main board all-star was Tarmogoyf.
My all-star that isn't Tarmogoyf isn't in the side, but...
Okay, we'll pick... The question is, what sideboard card overperformed? or performed the best?
I know what he's gonna say,
Well, that's
and
fine.
I think I have to agree with him on that.
You don't know what I'm going to say then.
Yeah, you're gonna say Cletus.
No, it was a braid. I boarded in a braid a lot more than Kalitas, and like a braid is just a quality card. That was one of the meta choices we made, is because we expected to see a lot of aggro, and we expected to see affinity. So we wanted a card that was good against both, beyond just the 2 ancient grudges. So we overloaded on artifact hate while retaining some hate for creatures, and braid just came in a lot, and it was good.
Heck yeah.
I never drew it, so I can't really say that. For me, probably Cletus though. I mean, Olivia won me the game against the blue white. I think it was on camera, wasn't it?
Yes.
Where I killed my
Mm-hmm.
I killed my Dark Confidant, and then I had a blocker for the Celestial Colonnade.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of my like. I played this deck before there even Cletus or Huntmaster even existed, because those are the old, I guess if you really want to go back, it's Bloodbraid Elf, but I mean, after Bloodbraid Elf was banned,
Well, we picked up Jund post Bloodbraid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then like the Kalitas was like, we had decided to play Jund because we both had the same deck and we do this thing together. And then when it was like, okay, well, we're gonna play Jund. What are some sideboard cards that we can metagame? And immediately it was like, we're just gonna play two Kalitas. Because that card's like back.
He was like non-negotiable, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, sounds good.
We're putting 3 of those in there.
I told him my card that overperformed for me though, besides Tarmogoyf, is Liliana Last Hope. That card put in so much work for me.
And that was a last minute decision from us, because we were like,
you were trying to tell me that it wasn't good enough.
I haven't had a good history with Liliana, to be fair.
Yeah.
And our last minute decision was like, we want more versatility in our 1-ofs, and we want a way to grind. So we were pretty satisfied with the artifact hate that we had, and so we cut a main board call against command for Liliana Last Hope.
Oh wow!
And it ended up paying off quite well.
Yep.
And also you need to diversify your removal spells in your main board if you're playing in a humans meta, because of a card like Meddling Mage specifically. Like,
We're playing 2 Fable.
Looks like you guys
one Collective Brutality in the main board, 1 Dreadbore, 1 Call Against Command, 1 Liliana Last Hope.
3 lightning bolts and 2 abrupt decays.
Yep.
2 Maelstrom.
What did we cut the bolt for? I can't remember.
We cut the bolt for
Abrupt.
the second copy of Abrupt Decay.
Yep.
Yeah. Just because we wanted that versatility that Abrupt Decay has. Like we were pretty satisfied on just sideboarding more removal. Like we had a Grim Lavamancer in the board, the Abrade in the board, the Jund Charm, the Kalitases, and then the Damnation for aggro, just dedicated. And then like the extra Collective Brutality in the board, and then the Brutality in the main board over the third Thoughtseize, just to hedge your bets against those aggro matchups.
Right on.
And like the Brutality in the main board ended up being super good as well.
Yep, I agree.
Heck yeah, that's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more question for you. Looking back on the experience, is there anything that you think you would have liked to have seen or changed going into that tournament?
Choke. I would have put a choke in my side.
We had this conversation of like, do we metagame for control? And in the end, we were like, if we were gonna play anything, we'd play choke, because Thrun the Last Troll doesn't cut it anymore. It used to be like you just play Thrun and you can maybe freebie a control matchup, but with people playing straight up Wrath of God on their main board,
It wasn't that, it was Terminus.
Well, it was
Either one.
It was
Yeah.
Wrath of God, Terminus, and then people were playing Settle the Wreckage like across the board, and then suddenly Thrun just doesn't cut it. So Choke is better in the long run because it's harder for them to deal with permanent wise, and it's more restrictive to their mana and helps us get ahead. But in the end, we were like, just sideboarding one single Choke is probably not going to do enough. So unless we had 2 Choke each, we just didn't bother.
And and the slot was going to be Jund Charm or Choke. That was the slot where we don't know what we want in this slot.
Mm-hmm.
So we chose Jund Charm because it was a Wrath. Now that I look back, I mean I can't really say anything because this is going out after okay. So the Jund Charm won me the last game, but in every other match I literally looked at it and was like, wow, this is bad. Like, they didn't do
we should have
anything.
played Anger over Jun Charm, I guess, because the reason we
Yeah.
chose Jun Charm is because we thought there was going to be more graveyard-based decks there, and then last minute we were already playing the Grafter's Cage, and then last minute we were like, okay, well, we'll just play Jun Charm over Kozilek's Return, because it gives us the Wrath and it gives us the Graveyard Hate. And then we learned that there's going to be more Graveyard decks, and we put another Nihil Spellbomb in there. So like having the 3 Graveyard Hate cards just wasn't super necessary in the long run.
So then
it
it seems like it seems like this Jun Charm is a good choice for a wider meta. Then
it's more restrictive on your mana base to cast, which I didn't have a problem with ever.
Me neither.
And it is more versatile, but it's 2 damage doesn't always cut it. And you know, it's just a like a meta call. Like it could have been like a Golgari Charm as well, and we were considering Rakdos Charm at one point, like in the Charm spectrum. So Rakdos Charm covered that Graveyard Hate and that Artifact Hate that we wanted.
Cool.
Couldn't find them. Didn't bother. The Braid, we ended up settling for a Braid, and the Braid was sweet.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I have a lot of experience playing Braid Modern right now, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's really good. Just
It does a
the
lot.
options. Options are always good.
Yes.
And
That's why charms are great.
I mean, that's what. I mean, that's why we chose Jun Charm.
Cool.
More options.
Well, do you have anything you want to ask him?
I guess coming down on to the choices of some of the sideboard cards, like how did you guys decide on Olivia Wildarin in your sideboard?
That was me.
Because Mike's played a lot. I have never really sideboard Olivia, and Mike has played Olivia quite a few times, right?
Yeah, I think I've every single, except for the GP Vancouver last year, 2 years ago now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Was the only tournament I didn't have one in for a major tournament. So it's just kind of like my pet card.
Well,
I guess.
Huntmaster of the Fells is our pet card, but we wanted something that, if it resolved and remained in play, it would just take over the game, and Olivia Wildarin just
Was that? And it also was kind of handy against like Lingering Souls tokens.
Yeah, it's better against Souls, and it's better against Affinity, so we wanted that, just that extra little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Seems great.
And then the one of Kitchen Finks, I guess, is the other kind of just.
Well, Kitchen Finks has always been a mainstay in the sideboard of Jund, and it's just super good against aggro anyway. So, like, the debate was like, do we just play like 2 Kitchen Finkses? And then we were like, well, a Kitchen Finks plus 2 Kalitas, like that's a lot of life gain right there. That's probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, it was just there because of burn.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be there. I mean, it made top 8, so I mean,
Oh yeah.
it was there.
It underperformed for me. I did not have the second green source to cast it in my hand.
Well, I mean, I cast it, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, card's terrible.
Okay. So I think it's about it. 'Cause most of the sideboard, other than we've talked about Kalias and whatnot, the sideboard looks typical Jund sideboardy. So
One more thing about the Lily. The reason Lily overperformed is because both Lilies can be out on the board. And that's what I was trying to push home to him prior to the tournament. It's just like that, I've had so many times where I had Liliana the Veil and Liliana Last Hope, and it just took over the game. And I mean, that's what happened with the blue-white control player.
So
I just took over the game.
What's interesting about that is like, your argument was that playing that made us better against like aggro, which I had not had that experience with. Like usually the plus was underwhelming for me in general, but really the Liliana Last Hope made us a lot better against the control decks that we played against, and like it came in real handy.
It did help with the affinity player though that I was playing. I killed a token which actually mattered.
You
and then I also
minused it and then got a creature back. It's so stupid.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
2 cards in your graveyard, like, just minus it. There's no creatures. Oh, hey, Olivia. Like, come on.
I don't know what you're talking about because
better lucky than you.
Exactly right. I think that's exactly what my opponent said. He's like, oh my god, like,
like, dude, come on.
But yeah. He was right. My argument before the tournament was that Liliana Last Hope was good against aggro, but
it ended up
closing
the deal for control.
Yeah. I mean, we got lucky there, I guess, but it did help me with the affinity list against affinity. So
Jund
Yeah, Jundum.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Trophy. Coming
Yeah,
to a Jund
that was the other
game.
thing. We're like,
Hey, Assassin's Trophy. All right.
That card, oh man.
It's we're hyped. We were so hyped for that.
Yep.
Oh man.
yeah. I think the Tron player was like, yeah, this is my last hoorah, and the last time I'm gonna just stomp you. Yeah, and I'm like, it's okay.
You
Just
can
stomp it right now.
destroy Tron's lands, but you can never stop them from making land drops over
Yeah.
time.
Right.
So, yeah, that'll be nice.
It'll slow him down. That's what we want.
Jund him, Timmy. Jund him hard.
Right.
Jundum hard.
There you go.
Whoop 'em Jundum style.
Yep.
Not that.
Yes,
No.
all that, all the time forever. Whoop 'em Jundum style. That's what it'll be every time that I talk to you about it.
When you start dancing, I'm walking away, dude.
Well, I know
All right.
I know we're doing for that in the video. Alright, well, we thank you guys for stopping by and doing the interview with us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, is it not over? Why is it talking
Fair enough.
So hopefully Mike does well at the Pptq
Yeah,
coming up in
we'll
December, and we'll probably do an interview with him after that and find out how it
I
went.
might go along with you just to coach you from the sidelines.
Or qualify yourself and then go.
It's too late.
That was the last one.
Literally,
That was the
ours
last
was
one
the last
for the
one, yeah.
December.
Oh, I didn't know
Next
that.
PTQ season starts October 5th.
Oh, okay.
So-
Sweet.
We'll-
Well, right on. Way to squeak in there.
You're gonna cast a
I
blood
was
elf.
totally trying to get in too, guys.
Mike gets in.
So, do you know what the format for the Pptq is?
It's modern.
It's modern. It's not team sealed.
Nope.
That was stupid.
Yeah, everybody loves some Team Seal Wizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was an option to choose though, and I was like,
Yeah. That
Why
that
aren't
seems
our
like a
videos
terrible.
getting views anymore? Are they not ecstatic about Team Seal?
How was your team limited experience?
Over at Wizards HQ, we really loved it. Cool.
Right on. Cool. Well, like Warren said, thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah,
hey, you-
all right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember to like and subscribe.
Jund.
For us MTG Dungeon guys, we want more of you clicking our stuff, and then we want to see more views on our videos and want you guys to be happy with our content. Leave comments below. Tell us what you think about Jund in the modern meta.
Go to mtgdungeon.com, purchase Jund, do yourself a favor.
yep, yep.
We don't have that up and running yet.
Go to www.mtgdungeon.com.
No,
Their
no.
actual URL, it's real. Look it up.
The actual URL is actually Whoop'em Jundum style. That's where you can buy the deck at.
No.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
John